Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ground Up with Natalee, the podcast that pulls back the curtain on what it actually takes to build a career in the entertainment industry as an actor. I sit down with actors, directors, and casting directors to talk about the real, unfiltered journey, the highs, the lows, and everything in between. No gatekeeping, no overnight success myths, just honest conversations to remind you that you're not alone and that you too can follow this dream. I hope you enjoy. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Ground Up with Natalee. Today, I am so excited. Oh my God, wait, technically, she's a castmate. I have a castmate on today, Katherine Hughes, who is an actress, writer, director. She's definitely produced things as well. What doesn't she do? And the creator of Not Your Daddy's Films. You guys, today we talk about, we both started, I want to say at similar times. We've been pursuing this career for 12, 13 years. So we really just go back and forth talking about experiences and what we've gone through in the industry. And she truly has so many nuggets to give in this episode. I know you'll be sending this to friends. So as always, if you're not driving, get out a piece of paper and a pen and take notes. All right, you guys, let's get into the episode. Katherine Hughes, thank you so much for being on Ground Up. I'm so excited to chat with you.
I'm excited.
This is literally, bear with me, this is the first ep back of the year.
Yay!
So
oh, cool. I'm honored.
Get into the Ground Up 3,
Love.
Which is the easiest part of the pod, hopefully. Okay, where are you from?
I was born in Delaware. I was born in Delaware, but I moved once a year growing up.
Oh.
So I kind of lived everywhere.
Army situation?
No, I think it's very I think they change. I think my parents grew up in one place their whole life, and they were like, there's so much of the world. We want our kids to see it. So we just moved a lot, which has brought a lot of great things as an adult, but also my brother and I, as we've gotten older, are like, wait, some trauma.
Yeah.
Picking up and moving a lot is really hard as
For a kid, yeah.
But it also was so special. But most of my formative years in New York, and then I moved here when I was 17.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that you say you're giving New Yorker.
That's nice.
Yeah. I witty, fast paced with it.
Thank you.
Competent.
Wow, what a great. The first 4 years I lived here, because I've been here for, it's 13 years soon. And the first couple years I lived here, I was like, I hate LA. I hate it. But I've really grown to love it.
Yeah.
And it's when I go back to New York now, it's so chaotic, and I'm I can't handle it.
So much. Yeah. Yeah. So would you move back? Not to live.
No, and also I feel like the amount of money you have to have in New York to live a super lovely, comfortable lifestyle is so much. Whereas in LA, it's you can just get a lot more for less.
Yes. I don't think people understand that.
Yeah.
It's so true. That's why I love LA, and it's just more palatable.
You can drive, I
love driving. People
all the little
don't.
things.
If you're from New York, born and raised, they don't care about driving, which I get.
I also think about how nuts it was that I was 13 and 14 taking the one train by myself all the time. The world's different now, I guess, but it was also the same. And I just think about being on the train like that, and I was like, I can't believe that was a thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now that I have some New York friends, because I half live there, half live here, they tell me the same thing. They're like, yeah, I grew up. What do you mean? I went, my mom drove me to school every single day. I didn't even take a bus. Did you? Wait, you were in LA, 17. Oh yeah, no. Yeah. So you were training it.
I was training it. My mom, if I was late, my mom would have to drive me to I lived in the Bronx, so she would have to drive me East Bronx to my school, and yeah.
Nice.
But then
I feel like you grow up fast that way.
Yeah. I think LA kids grow up fast too for different reasons,
True.
Obviously, but I love them both equally. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
I feel like I think that's a really important thing, is creating roots, and my brother moved out here, which was really important to me, and all my best friends are here, and my parents moved out here 2 years ago. They live 45 minutes south.
That's amazing.
So having everyone here.
Wait, do they live in Orange County?
They live in Seal Beach,
nice.
Right near it.
Yeah. Okay, that's where my family is.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, that's where I'm from.
I didn't know that. Okay, nice.
Orange County.
It's really nice.
It's so nice.
Yeah.
What was your first dream job?
My first dream job that I did?
Like you were 10 and you're like, I want to be an astronaut. Or did you want to be in the industry?
What's so funny is that I think I was always like directing as a kid. Like I was always I would write plays and direct them during recess or whatever. And it's weird to me that it took me so long to kind of come back to it. Cause when people ask me like, what did you want to be an actor? It's like, I didn't really until I was a teenager, until I was like 14-ish. And before that, I was always like telling people what to do and like directing. So I would say like weirdly, I didn't even realize it, but that's what I wanted to do. Like directing theater or directing.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if you then got like influenced or like other people were like, oh yeah, you want to be an actor.
Well,
and then you started.
Like, at that age, especially in the early 2000s, there wasn't a lot of people encouraging young women to be directors. You know, that wasn't a girl's job.
Right.
So yeah, no, I think that's exactly what happened is like people saw that I was enjoying theater and like theatrical things and they're like, well, you should be an actor.
Yeah.
And so I was
You're
like,
pretty.
I was like, okay, like cool, I'll definitely do that. And yeah, so
wait, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Your like internal childlike self was like, I'm literally a director.
yeah,
Like,
no, I think about it all the time, and it, you know, I'm glad
everything happened for a reason, but
Totally.
technically you kind of like pursued something for like 8 years or however long you really pursued acting, which we'll get into. But
yeah, and my little brother, he's a professional VFX artist and an editor now. But when we were young, like he was always, we were both doing very creative things with cameras and with, you know, like film type things. And Dean was definitely the one that was encouraged to like edit and go be the director and go do the thing. And I think it's just like of the time. Like I think, like I said, just being a young woman, it was like, oh, you should be on screen.
Right.
You should be the director.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, yeah.
Okay. What was your first job?
First job was
Ever
was Law and Order SVU in New York.
Okay. And
Yeah.
then what about like first job ever?
I got lucky. I've never had to.
We're recording. This is good. Katherine Hughes has never had a job.
Sorry. Cut that. I mean, I babysat in high school, but I started really early. So I think that allowed me to, I started when I was 13.
Acting.
And yeah.
Oh, wow.
Very young. And it allowed, and there was this thing back in the day called, they might still do it, the Coogan account, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And so when I was young, I did like commercials and guest stars and stuff. And by the time I was 18, I had saved a bunch of money, obviously, but I also had this Coogan account. So I was able to like live and, yeah, so it was nice.
Okay, so that makes complete sense. So you started really young in the industry. Your parents were like, yeah, we're down with, they're like open-minded. They didn't force you to go to college. Did you go to college?
So I just graduated last year, actually. Okay. What is it, 2026? I graduated a year and a half ago. So when I moved to LA, my parents definitely come from like academic families, and it was really weird that I was not going to school. But they understood that as a young woman in Hollywood, there were some great years going on from, 18 to 22. And they were like, you know what, like utilize this time. You're here. Also, when I moved here, I had booked 2 pretty cool studio movies. So that was helpful. And like, they were like, well, we don't want to ruin the momentum you're having because, there's so few shots that you get.
Yeah.
So yeah, they encouraged me, but they did tell me, they're like, while you're working, we want you to go to community college, online, so you can build credits over the years. And so luckily by the time COVID came around, I had accrued like 60, the amount of credits I needed to apply to like state, like schools. Yeah. And I was like, wow, what an amazing time to be able to like apply for school when the world is shut down. So I applied to UCLA in 2020 and I got in, which was like the coolest thing ever because I always wanted to go to school. Like,
okay. So you wanted to. You're like, no, this is, I don't want to like skip this.
Yeah, it was something that like meant so much to me, and like it was like a big, not a struggle, but I was bummed for like obviously social reasons. When you're young, you're seeing all your friends in college and you're on set, which is so cool and so fun, but you're also like, that's life experience. Like that's really special and I'll never have that. And so but I encourage everyone to do, like younger actors who ask me about the college thing. When I talk about it, I'm always like, please do the online stuff. It's so readily available. And like, if that's something that's important to you, it's so available to you. And online courses tend to be cheaper, and like you can do them on your own time. And
so would you say, are you saying like this as, so let's say someone's like, I want to be an actor. Are you saying like, okay, but like backup plan, do these classes? Or are you saying like, if you want to or what? Because I say not the opposite, but the opposite, because I didn't go to any college. Sure. And so I'm like, get in there, get, boots on the ground and try to get an agent and start auditioning and all of that stuff. And I'm like, but if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or anything like that, like you do have to go to school. Yeah. But UCLA, like directing or something, which is that what you studied? Like,
no, I studied gender just because it was also a little different for me because I've been working since I was young. Like I have a steady like career. I wasn't looking to get a degree in anything that was going to get me a job. So I wanted to study something that was really interesting to me. Also, when you're older, you get a lot of really good scholarships and like grants. So I came out of UCLA for like $6,000.
Whoa.
Yeah. So like
because people listening don't know, you're in your late 20s.
I'm 30.
Right? Okay, you're 30.
And I graduated when I was 29. So when you're over 25, there's like a lot of grants you can get. And so I got a UCLA degree for like not a lot of money, and it's very available to people.
That is like, such good. No, that's so inspiring.
And I think it's like to your point of getting, go get your agent, go get those people on your team. Like you can do all of those things
while you're doing it.
Yeah. Like it's really, we live in a society now where you can really kind of create your own schedule and your own routine, and like everything is possible at once. You know, it's like true. You're not going to be spending 24 hours a day trying to get an agent. Like you can take 2 hours of classes if that's important to you.
Totally.
Okay,
so now when did you stop like working was there a time where you're like, holy shit, I'm not booking jobs right now? Yeah. Like were you 22 and then like 22 to 27, you were like, this is crazy. And then you started getting into directing and writing, or what was that like?
It always comes in waves. I feel like, it's like work always begets work. So it's like, you'll always be working on something. And then, in the years where there's lots of stuff going on, you always have your next job ready. But the first time I think I had a lull was when I was 23, and I didn't work for a year, and it was the first time I'd always been interested in directing and writing, and it's always in the back of my head. And when I wasn't working that year, I found myself going insane, because that's what you do when you're like a actor. It's like you're like, what do I do with my life? And I was like, oh, why don't I write, and why don't I do the thing that I've always wanted to do? So I started writing, and I was horrible at first. It's like you're doing this thing that. And luckily as actors, you read scripts a lot. So it's like I had the foundation of, what a script looks like. And so I started writing a ton, and I optioned my first script when I was like in my early 20s. And I was like, okay, cool. So
how did you do that? How did you option your first script? And what does that mean?
Yeah. So a producer that I knew through work, I sent it to, and they responded to the project. They felt personal connection to it. And so an option is when you have a piece of writing, so a screenplay in my case, and that screenplay is kind of like sold to someone to own for a year.
Okay.
So she owned my script for 2 years, and during that time you're paid, and then they take the script out and try to find financing to make the movie. And at that point I hadn't really been like, I'm going to be a director. So I was really open to anyone directing it. They had me meet with like a lot of really cool like actors who were trying to become directors, like more established actors and all that stuff. And it was really cool. That it didn't end up getting made, but it gave me this kind of like excitement and fulfillment that I hadn't felt in a really long time. Because, with acting, it's like some jobs are really awesome and you feel amazing, and it's like the most creatively fulfilling thing in the world. And then sometimes they're just jobs, and like sometimes people aren't very nice, and sometimes, and you have to like find ways to still feel super excited all the time.
Was your experience in acting from, well, we can call it 13, but like 13 to 23, was it when you were like 17 to 23, you were in LA pursuing acting? Was it mostly TV?
It was mostly movies, because
like independent films.
It was a little bit of everything, because it's so funny how different things are now. But I feel like how it used to be is like when you were in TV, you were in TV. And if you were in movies, you were in movies. It's very different now. But so when I first started, I did 2 movies. And then from there, I was auditioning for movies all the time, and I wanted TV auditions so bad because also TV is where the money is.
Yeah, and that was like CW times.
Oh, and the amount of time, I'm sure we both, like the amount of times you like screen tested for CW. That's how I met Brandon. It was a CW screen test.
You say that. I did not screen test that like often. But wait, that's so cool. For what?
It was called Lost Boys.
Wait, I went to a producer session for Lost Boys.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Okay, period.
That was 2019. Oh my God, I guess that was 7 years ago. I was like, Kace, that was 2 years. That was recent.
No.
I want to know a long time ago.
7 years ago, yeah.
I loved that script. Never got made.
Well, they tried to make it
twice. Yeah.
I just remember there were 2 iterations of the show and they just didn't have their shit together.
Yes, yes.
It was, and they were really trying to bring vampires back, which I respect.
Yeah.
You know?
Ground Up is sponsored by Mastermind Media. Whenever someone asks me, how do I get everything done between my social media, my podcast, I say, well, I don't do any of it. Mastermind Media helps me with all of it. They created my logo. All of those reels you see on TikTok and Instagram, it's them. My podcast, editing, all the graphics on YouTube, it's Mastermind Media. So in this digital age, I find that more and more people are needing a company like this who handles everything start to finish. So if you're interested in finally taking your business idea to the next level, definitely contact Mastermind Media. All of their information is in my show notes. That was the last time I remember there being a heyday, by the way. Late 2019 or 2019, early 2020.
Yeah.
Because Lost Boys was January 2020, I think.
Yeah.
And oh my God, I was going through because I'm at the last parts of creating the course and like I'm offering a bunch of sides like to practice with. And so I'm going through my emails to look for auditions. And I came across Lost Boys and it's, you know, the email's like your producer session tomorrow. And I'm like, this was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And
things have changed.
It was thing after thing. What was it? It was like The Nanny, which was now called The Watchful Eye, but it was like a free form show that I was testing for. And it's like, Tell Me Lies. And it's like your director session is tomorrow. Like all within
also
2 weeks of each other.
The way we used to just like, oh, it's tomorrow? Okay. Oh, there's 7 new pages of sides? Absolutely. Like
I know.
if I had to do that now, I'd be like,
no,
what do you mean?
Stop. It shows that our brain is like retracting because also in person, we used to have to drive.
Oh, yeah.
Like 30 minutes and we would do it with a smiling, which by the way, that's how my brain works. So I'm like, now you need more grit than ever. So if you think that you can just like.
But that's also why I say like the whole, the school thing, it's like, we don't have to drive to studios anymore and make it, you know, I mean, I lived in Venice for a minute. That was a 4-hour excursion. You know what I
Warner
mean?
Brother
like,
or
and it's like, we don't need
valley.
to do that anymore. And you have so much time to value and prioritize things in your life that are special to you outside of this career, you know?
Well, a lot of people ask me, they're like, how do you, because most people don't make a living from acting for either a really long time, if ever, right? Talking like, let's call it 100,000 a year, I would say. What is it to live now? 60 to like live,
it's a lot.
right?
Yeah.
60 maybe
Sure.
to like live. That's what you would need. And it's really hard to make
baseline.
That in acting, baseline. That's what I'm saying. So I'm always like, they're like, how did you survive? I'm like, well, I worked at a restaurant in the beginning, but I started making money at 23 from TV. And then it kind of never, very slow trajectory, but it never stopped to where I needed to go back to anything.
Which is like the goal.
Which is the goal. And it's been amazing. But I always had things outside of acting that filled me up.
Yeah.
And I always tell people when they're like, well, what job do I get now? And I understand that it's not 2017 anymore. Where getting a job at a restaurant is going to make you feel okay these days. So I'm like, you need actually something else that you love to do and can make you money.
Yeah.
So it's like, I never want people to have a survival job.
Yeah.
Right? Because then it's like you're miserable, but then you're not making $60,000 a year for acting for 10 years.
Yeah. And I was just thinking about like, I think the reason why I was able to not have a job is also just baseline. I'm a frugal lady and, you know, we get paid in lumps, you know, most of the time, whether it be a movie or you do a recur on a show or whatever. And I just do real good with budgeting and, you know, in those times where you make bigger lumps, you can live a little bit more of the lifestyle you want. But I really
You didn't go buy a car with the no seriously same. It made a huge difference in lasting.
And I think it allowed me the time to do the things that I loved, you know, by not getting the coffee out every day or whatever. And times that I couldn't do that, it's like it really did allow me to do the things that I loved, and those sacrifices are worth it, I think. You know,
money's a big stressor, so when you don't have those, you're allowed to be like, oh, I want to take classes and like enjoy this, or try to build this business up. Or not your daddy's films. Yeah. Okay, I did want to talk about directing in general. I have so many questions written down because if you were just an actor and you're like a series regular on a show right now, and I was getting your ground up story, like I know from the top of my brain exactly everything, every single step. I'm curious about how you got your agents, when you fired that agent, when you got fired by an agent and all that. But I want to know about the directing and what is like the first, you do independent films right now, directing?
I mean, so writing is the thing that's like pushing me along in terms of like, hoping to get my first feature soon, and, you know, all of like, getting meetings for television, episodic and stuff. But no, so far, I mean, just like brand stuff and short films and, that stuff, which has also allowed me to really build out Not Your Daddy's. Yeah. But
how does someone begin if they are like, okay, you're right, acting isn't my end all be all. I'm actually really creative. I love writing. I love directing. Like, how does one even get involved? I mean, probably start by hitting up Not Your Daddy's or like going to events and networking.
For sure. I think personally, acting allowed me the networking that I didn't even know I had. So like being on sets for a decade plus like allowed me to find mentors and, you know, people that taught me along the way. And I was really lucky. Like my first two movies were with like two really incredible filmmakers. And I just over the years have been blessed with, you know, working with people that have taught me so much. But in terms of, like if you're fresh starting, getting that kind of networking the way you can. And that's,
I feel like you're good at networking and I'm terrible at it. So my poor listeners.
I hate the word. It's
yeah, but it's the word.
Yeah.
I never talk about, because I'm like, my ground up, so I've never used any networking ability that I should have and should.
I think it always has to be genuine, you know.
Well, yes, I think it's but like, how do you do it? So you're on set, and what you stay connected with people like via.
Yeah, you just ask. I mean, it's also like you never want to ask too much. You never want to solely use someone for what they have. Like, you know, just those basic, like, be a good person. But I mean, if you build a strong connection with, say you're a guest star on a show, and you find like a genuine connection with a producer or a director in one of the blocks, or a writer that's on set. Like, don't be weird, but just be like, I'm a young person who's really interested in this. Like, if you wouldn't mind, like, if I could ask you questions every so often, I won't be alarmingly over the top, but I would love that kind of connection with you. You know, just genuine. I don't know. That's always the word. You just don't want to be, and you don't want to overuse those connections as well, because those people are busy.
Totally. And if they're not the type to want to give advice, they'll let you. They won't answer, and then you just like move on.
Use your self-awareness. Yeah, exactly. Like if you send an email and it goes unresponded to after the follow-up.
Yeah, one follow-up.
Let it be
3 weeks. Yeah,
let it go. You know, and that's okay. Because you will find those people, and that rejection maybe just be part of the game always. But I mean, I think about Megan from Tell Me Lies, the showrunner. Like, she is so giving and so cool with her just like resources and her talent and her skills, and she's like brought me to spotting sessions at Paramount to like go over sound, and like she's just she knew that this is something that I was interested in, and she's just really giving. And I really encourage women in those positions of power to like continue to mentor specifically young women in that way, because there's what was the stat that just came out? Like 6% of the top movies last year were directed by women. That's not enough, and even less of people of color. And it's really, mentorship is super important. So I think finding genuine mentors for you is just I'm finding them on set in any way you can.
I need to take this advice for sure, because I feel like I know you're independent as well, but for some reason it's in a bad way. There's like, it's so independent. Like I don't want to ask anyone for anything,
well,
any
it's
help.
also hard to ask for help, and women also never want to bother people.
Yes.
You know,
it's okay. It's fine.
Yeah. You never want to bother people, and it's okay to ask for things that you want. And
I feel like that's the only way you can get projects made, right? Because now we're talking about like creating your own projects, and whether it's a short film or a feature or writing. And even though you're just writing it, it's your job, right? To, okay, who can I connect this? Who are the right people I can connect this with?
Hopefully also like for people who are writing and directing, like you'll find a team, like a lit team or a manager.
Oh, right.
You know, my manager has been my manager since I was 17, which is insane. She's like my, I
Hollywood mom.
wish everyone to have a manager like my manager. I got so lucky when I was young, and she like literally just is the greatest teammate and partner, and believes in me so much and has for so long. And she has transitioned her management to also lit. So that was like an amazing kind of transition for me as well, because I had started really like locking in on that stuff in my 20s. But she is the one who takes out my projects, which I think similar to acting, it's like having someone vouch for you in that way that's not you is also helpful. So like having someone tell someone else that you're awesome, and you not having to do that is kind of.
And are they pitching as well on top of vouching? Okay. So
or pitching
like
my
like
projects?
For acting, it's like pitching. They pitch you to the casting director to get you an audition.
So it's like generals happen a lot. So it's like they'll pitch you to be they'll send your like work materials to people at studios or independent producers, and you'll have a lot of generals. a lot of generals. Yeah, similar. I mean, how actors, I don't think they do it that much anymore with casting directors, but yes, you'll just meet and talk about the projects you have and the stuff that you're interested in.
And boom, that forms a connection.
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't. Like sometimes, many times you'll do generals and you'll get off and be like, that was weird.
Okay, so that's kind of like the audition rate. Like it's like, okay, that was weird. Yeah. I know they didn't want to be there.
Exactly. And trust your gut, you know? There's been a lot of times where that's something I've also learned from acting over time, is just like you have to trust your gut on things. It's always going to be correct. You know, if something doesn't feel good, it's probably not right.
Imagine if you would listen to your gut immediately every single time.
Yeah. You have to learn too.
I know, you have to learn.
That's the thing.
So this is for someone listening who continuously, after 10 years, does not listen to their gut.
Listen to your gut. Yeah.
I say that all the time about like firing, letting go reps. I'm like, they'll be like, I just hate them. And I'm like,
yeah. If it doesn't feel right, you have to do that.
There's just no way you can continuously have a successful career in one of the hardest industries in the world.
With someone who doesn't respond to your calls or your texts. I think it's okay to outgrow people too. I think, and that's natural. And people change so much as artists, and they grow and shift. And like, I couldn't have imagined when I moved here at 17, like, the people I'd be meeting with now and the stuff that I'd be interested in. And like, you grow so much in those years, and it's okay to outgrow the people that, don't work for you, and you might not work for them anymore. Maybe that's why it feels weird, And
never think that by you like letting go or stepping away that they're going to be like, I think we're just so scared to like harm people. And it's like, it's
letting go of the fear. And that's why I'm always like, go find things you like outside of it, because letting go of that fear is so freeing, and it like will change the work you're doing, because it's like, I think about how scared I was in my early 20s, and it's because everything was about acting. Like everything I did,
hanging on.
Yeah, which I think is a stage everyone has to go through. Everyone does it, but as soon as I found other things and amazing friendships and like just spent time thinking about other things, it was so freeing and made me a better artist in so many ways.
Letting it go is insane. Yeah, I agree. I was so holding tight on every single audition, and
it's hard not to though, because we're in an industry that like tells you not to care that much, but also is like
your livelihood.
Yeah, and it's not fair.
Yeah,
it's like so uncool.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
And I think like you said, you have to experience it, which kind of sucks. Like if I could tell everyone, I wish I could be like, just let it go right now. But I feel like I didn't let go until like this July.
Oh, really?
And then that's when, I mean, I've been so kicked around, as we all have in this industry for 8 years, you know, with everything, with TV, and just as actors, we're like the last to know anything, and oh, you're recurring, and you're this, and you're, oh wait, you're actually a guest, and you know, and you just want that series regular so bad, or that opportunity that can move you forward. And so it's so hard to be like, oh yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna let go. Yeah. But something will always, I told you I do that. Something will always shift something will happen in your mind. You'll feel it. You will physically feel it. Yeah. And you'll be like, wow, I love this other thing right now. Or like there's other things out there in life for me. And then that's when the opportunity will come.
I think casting and producers, they can feel it. Like they really can. I remember when I was at my most angry, I think I was 23 because I hadn't worked in a while, maybe 22. And I remember I'd only ever gotten like solid notes from casting. It was, you know what I mean? Like no one was ever like, that was a weird choice, whatever. It was always super solid. And I got a note back, and I don't remember who the casting director was, but they were like, she seems really angry. And I was like, whoa. It was like a whoa moment, because I was like, because I am. Yeah. I'm so angry. And it was one of those moments where I was like, okay, if I'm going to do this, I got to think through what the fuck is going on with myself. Yeah.
They can feel every bit of desperation, and that's why we can't tie it with money, and money is such a hard thing to navigate because everyone's struggling and life is so expensive. Yeah.
It's also like becoming less and less of a viable option as a livelihood, which is it sucks, you know. It's really sad, and
it's actually really interesting that you say that.
Yeah. I mean, because there's so much less going on, and the rates are all whatever we could talk about, but the streamers and all that stuff.
The verticals.
Yeah. My brother told me about those, and I was like, what?
Do you know? Oh,
I just found out.
I'm wanting to have someone on. I don't know who would be a professional at this. I don't know if it's a producer or maybe an actor, because there's these actors out there that have done 30 of them.
Yeah. And they're probably super like visibly famous. Like people that watch the verticals know their face.
And you know they get paid like $800 a day for 8-day shoots. So it's like a top of show guest star essentially.
Okay.
So like they'll get they'll get like $8,000 for like one vertical that takes 8 days to shoot.
Okay.
And then they'll do the production company, because it's easier for them. They'll be like, wait, we have another one. Like, will you come do it?
And then they just become own. Okay.
And then they're making like money though. That's the crazy part.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the like, I'm sure that's the thing that,
why they're doing it or whatever.
Yeah.
But then it's like also because their face is being, it's a lot more about fame now than it is what it used to be.
And I think it's tough. It's like people just want to work, you know? Yeah. And it's like actors just want to act. And it's, I think the industry used to be a lot more forgiving about like letting you learn as you grow. Mm-hmm. Like I remember early on, my team was just like, you just got to work. Like you got to get on sets. Like you got to do the thing. And now it's all about strategy and like what's cool and what's the next thing. And I think it's really detrimental to creativity, because you're saying no to things that you want to do because it's not cool enough. And I really preferred the way that I started, because it was like you just worked and got better and learned, you know?
Yeah, I agree. I couldn't be cool if I tried or mysterious. I feel like that is totally like, I know exactly what you're talking about. And it's like, I've always also wanted to just like really make money in this. And like, I'm like, I want it to be my life, like my, you know, main.
You did it.
And I did it. Okay. So please, will you tell us about Not Your Daddy's Films?
Yeah.
What is it? And I'd love to know the nucleus of how you started it.
Yeah. Our log line, Not Your Daddy's Films, is a social impact organization dedicated to educating and elevating women and non-binary people behind the camera. So we're essentially like a community of women and non-binary people and men. Like we love men that support women. Yeah. You know, we do live events, we do workshops. We have 2 of the women in the group just started a podcast, which is really cool. yeah, we just really want to support women behind the camera because it's not being supported in the way that's actually making moves in the industry. And
especially for like non-A-listers.
Yeah. And it's also, you know, because everything's condensing, these mentorship opportunities that I'm talking about, like they're gone now. And so it's like studios used to really offer those to people and offer those to young women and people of color and minorities, and they don't exist anymore. So it's like really trying to foster this community of people that are doing the thing and bringing up people with them. So it started in 2022. And I had just directed a few things and I was like, I want to talk to people about it. And the only people I knew doing it were behind the camera stuff were men. And I was like, that's cool. I love men. We get it.
Yeah.
But I was like,
engaged to a man.
I love men. But I was like, what do I do? How do I find women? And I didn't know how. And so I like slowly kind of started talking to other women that had just made stuff. And we were like, let's screen our stuff. Like, how fun would that be? And when we screened our stuff, like so many people came and so many women came and they were all like, I want to do this. Like, how do I do this? Like, I've always wanted to direct. And we were all like, I don't know. Like and so we were like, but wait, what if we kept doing this? And so it started as a screening series. But it continued on and just grew really naturally. And now our events have like, you know, 300 plus people every time. And we've been partnering with awesome companies like A24 we've partnered with a few times. And I think the industry generally is starting to understand like what we are and what we have to offer, which is like new, fresh, young talent that we've sourced and found because it's like they're having a hard time being found.
Yeah. So here they are.
Yeah.
Is it like a roster essentially?
Yeah. So we just started this thing the last 2 years called the Daddy's List, which and we're not trying to be like super exclusive. We want everyone to feel like they can come and learn, and like especially at workshops and panels, we do some awesome panels.
You can come, but not everyone can be on the
Well, the Daddy's List is like
the list.
Our version of like the like kind of the blacklist, where it's like these are the women we've found and sourced and like really like fallen in love with this year.
Yeah.
That we want to share with the industry because they're having, you know, some of them, not all of them, some of them are at Sundance this year, you know, but it's like, these are the women that should be telling stories. These are the women that should be, you know, really put out there in this moment in time. And so that's been a cool like addition to what we've been doing. But yeah, it's so special. And it's
so impressive what you guys have built, truly.
Yeah.
And to see how many people show up, and you can see the energy. I've just seen videos online. Unfortunately, I haven't made it to an event yet, but you can see that everyone feels like they have a place finally.
Yeah.
Even if they're just present. They're like, for this moment, for these 3 hours, I feel happy, I feel seen. And we all know everyone there is a creative.
Yeah.
And so the fact that you and your co-founders, there's 5 of you?
There's 5. It's,
okay.
Coco, Carly, Vika, Nicole, and me. And we all do different, we're all multi-hyphenates doing different things, but like, you know, like Carly just choreographed a couple episodes on Emily in Paris, and like so cool. Nicole has a production company. I'm doing a lot of writing and directing. So we're all doing, like, we very much encourage multi-hyphenates. They used to not be like very, the industry used to like kind of not like a multi-hyphenate because it's like, what are you? And now it's like multi-hyphenates are very cool. Like, you can do it.
Now it's almost like you have to do
a little
so
bit.
Many things.
Yeah, a little bit. But yeah, and that means a lot that you said that, because the way I feel when I'm at our events is that when I moved to LA at 17, it was really hard making friends. It's always hard when you move to a new place, and like it's really special seeing these like young women meeting, and older women, like meeting each other and making friends and like creating stuff together. It's like there's so many women now that have made shorts together and like written scripts together. And like, you know, I was always really jealous of my brother growing up because he had this little, like, not a little, he had a group of friends and they all made stuff together. And I had a hard time finding that in my 20s, like finding the group of women that I could make stuff with. And I think we're offering that to people, where it's like, come meet your creative partners. And yeah, having women feel seen, like showing your, we screen features, but like mostly like first time feature directors. We've done like Brittany Snow and Ali Panku, like their first features we've screened with like American Cinematheque, but our quarterly screenings are short films. And those are hard to screen. Like you never really see a short film up on a big screen. And so having women see that stuff on screen is like really fun, and having with an audience and like,
and it'll inspire them to keep moving forward too. They're like, if you guys didn't offer that, it might never get screened. This cool thing that they created, put so much time and effort into, and submitted to a bunch of festivals.
Well, and festivals are so political. Like we love a festival. Festivals are great, but they are really political. And I think,
and only how many get chosen, and then there's this
and a lot of the times genre films aren't heavily featured at festivals. It depends what festival. Like Beyond Fest is very genre heavy, but like the Sundances of the world and Tribeca's, they're normally not super geared towards genre, which might be changing because genre makes so much money now. But we tend to screen like a lot of really cool genre films that women are making. We're trying to encourage women to do more action. Yeah, so cool. It's been like one of the most fulfilling, special things of the last.
It's just the
3 years.
Beginning,
too. Like we just started it 3 years ago. So
I was like looking obviously at your website and everything, and I was like, wow, this is so cool, and like just everything, the merch, and like really creating a community.
Yeah, and it's so fun when I'll see our hats say daddy, and like we'll see girls around LA wearing the daddy hat.
The best. Like, yes, daddy.
I love it. Nice.
How important do you think it is right now for people to be like self-generating work?
It's
versus waiting for an opportunity to like land in their lap.
Yeah. You want to do it genuinely. Again, it's like, don't force yourself to do something that you're not like inspired by.
Totally.
But also, it's tough. I think one thing that was really fun that I did with some of my friends is some of my friends are martial artists and stunt performers, and I love directing action. So that was a fun collaboration. They're like, we need stunt reels. You direct and write. Like, why don't you write and direct me a short film, and then I have real footage? So it's like stuff like that. I think if you try to really think about the
intentionally. You're like, I need this, you need that. Why don't we do this? It's not a huge deal. I don't need to stress and be like, I need to make a film that's gonna be at the Shorts Festival for this.
But
thing.
It's like find things that you need personally and things that you can offer people. It's like, not only am I offering them like a fully produced short film, they're offering me their talents. And it's like finding those kinds of opportunities within the people that you know. And we try to tell people on Not Your Daddies too, like, network. Hate that word, but it is what it is.
You need to invent a new word now.
I know.
Because you have to use it.
Network horizontally. Don't always be like reaching for the people that are so far ahead of you, because it's like the people that are at your level right now are the people that will be, rising up with you. And I think a lot about the girls that like the NYU girls, like the Rachel Sennetts of the world, the IOs, like that whole crew of girls, they all went to school together, and it's like they all grew together. And I use that as an example because, it don't always look ahead. Like you have to look at who's doing stuff at your level,
Because also combining all of your talents and brains, you can create something really cool.
Yeah.
So when it comes to, are you good, like when it comes to finding funding for something, how do you do so for, it's just really impressive that you guys have like, first of all, Not Your Daddies, like people donate to it, right? And do you guys get funding for that as well? But then obviously for a film, like how does one, is it networking?
Yeah, I mean, I think similar to acting, like every path is so different to funding. And, just because you option something, I've optioned many things, doesn't mean it's going to get made. It's just like acting, lightning in a bottle, the right timing, the right producer, being
keep going,
emotionally connected to your work. Like it's just, so like I have a few things in development right now, but that all, each project means something so different. It's like one is I have a producer who's looking for the money, and another one is like I wrote something for a studio, and that studio has a deal with like major studios. Okay. Or like bigger major studios, and those studios will finance it on a slate at a certain time. And there's just like each one is so different. But
you have your hand in many different little ways. It's like if a producer can find the money, great.
Yeah.
If a big studio, you can take you can option my script. Like here you go. I think
the important things are having a team that believes in you so much, like I said earlier, because you gotta fight just like acting. You have to go so hard and work so hard to find these opportunities, and you have to have a teammate that does that with you.
Period.
And then
and to not have one who's supposed to be or like agent or manager, like that's the bare minimum.
Yeah.
I feel
and
like
everyone can find that.
Yeah.
You might have to work, hard. And I know it's harder now with like everything's kind of online and you're not meeting people in person all the time, but like you can find someone who believes in you. You 100% can.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, like you said, having many things going at once. It's like if you have one script, that's not enough. Like,
right.
Yeah. And also if you have one script, it's the same thing as if you only have like, if you have one script, that's all you're thinking about. Have many things going on. Have 5 scripts. They don't all have to be iconically amazing, but always have something. If it's about, for me, it's about always having something to work on and like always having something to be inspired by.
Yeah.
And it's like, have 4 of those things. So you're not like, because also notes take so long from studios. Producer reads take months. Like everything takes so long. So it's like if you have the next thing to be working on while that thing is,
getting looked at.
You're getting looked at. Like you'll always have something to fulfill you.
Wow. That's so interesting because it's almost like actors are lucky because we're getting auditions. Like when people always say, how did you, deal, my little stat is like, I went on 300 auditions before I booked Siren at 23.
Wow.
So it's like, but at least it doesn't feel like so much rejection because those auditions were coming to me.
It's the opportunities. Yeah.
It's the opportunities.
You're definitely you have to make your own opportunities. With
directing
and writing
directing and writing.
Stuff. And also it's funny because acting it's been, I will say too, it's so freeing when you realize once you write and you direct that it has nothing to do with the actor personally when you're deciding on who it is. You know what I mean? Like it gave me so much perspective where it's like when I write something, I know exactly who I'm picturing. I know the vibe. Like I know what I want, And so then I remember I read for, and I feel like I've told this story before, but
not to me.
Not to you. I read for Olivia Wilde for Booksmart when that was going on. And I remember it was the first time that I felt fully seen by a director in an audition room, and she was so kind and so giving with her notes. And
so you did the original audition, you got a call back?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the director session.
Because I'm like, how
her.
are you just in the room with Olivia?
Yeah, I think I might have gone,
a network?
No.
Straight to callback.
I think
okay.
Because I think that producer, or not the producer, the
casting director
had cast me in something before.
Okay. Copy.
So that's the cool thing. Also, like with work begetting work, it's like once you know a casting director, they'll just bring you in because they trust you and they know you. But I remember reading for her, and when I started writing and directing, I was like, oh, like this, it all just made so much sense.
The thoughts that she might have been thinking during that session.
And I think actors who become directors are a lot more giving to actors because they get it, and that's what it felt like to me.
Yes.
It's like she understood what we were all going through. We were all nervous. We all wanted to do a good job.
Yeah.
And it's like she knew what was up, and it was just like it was really nice. It was
that
cool.
feels so good. Have you done multiple projects where you've had to cast actors?
I've mostly casted friends so far, which I think is also the way the industry is going. I'm seeing, I just do that because it's easy with the budgets I'm on.
Yeah,
but
and you have
also,
so many talented friends.
Yeah, and it's also like I've worked over the years, so I know actors and I know people.
Yes.
And you want to trust people on your set too, So it's like you wanted to cast friends, and I think that's I've just noticed it more and more with projects in the last, especially since COVID. It's like people are definitely casting friends and people they know more because it's easier.
Also, regarding so unless you're Jim Carrey and you're like getting enveloped in
I love
a
how
character.
He's your select. I just watched The Mask for the first time a couple days ago.
Oh my God. Have you seen Ace Ventura?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how was The Mask?
It's the 90s were different, bro.
I know.
I watched it and I was like, I was -1, I guess, at the time. I wasn't born yet. But like when I see things in the 90s now, I'm like, why does this feel so ancient? I'm not that old.
Right.
Like, it feels so old.
And to think you're watching that and Cameron Diaz had her 21st birthday on that set.
Yeah.
And you're just
that's just the way I think it's getting better now with women in roles that make sense with older men.
Do you like Reese Witherspoon?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she's created an incredible production company and putting women at the forefront. I listened to her on a podcast recently and she was like, I think it was 2014, and she was like, I'm sick of being this, like rom-com, like love interest. What do I do? I'm bored, da-da-da. And then that's when she was like, she's like, I just want scripts with like leading women. And they're like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Just sent it to you. Check your email. And she's like, this is all of them. It was like one script.
And is this also, I remember her saying something like, every woman in a movie is like, what do we do now?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, but it's so real.
Yeah, it's so
like,
real.
What do we do now? Yeah. No,
So,
she was so good in Walk the Line.
Yes.
Movie, yeah.
Yes.
She's dope.
But that's why she created
Sunshine.
Yeah, Hello Sunshine. Because she was like, there are no scripts. You gave me one.
Yeah.
Okay. So actors, I feel like, unless you're Jim Carrey and you're a method actor, right? And you are like truly, is it just really like an essence like of who you are as a person from a director / creative perspective?
I think it depends. Like I think I think of like Philip Seymour Hoffman, and it's like and Adam Driver and actors like that, where like I'm sure they put in tapes that were just so bold in their choices and so fun and good that they were selected. Like I think sometimes you can really surprise people and give new life to a character that, you know, because it's like also by the time a movie gets made, it's been rewritten 400 times, you know, and so sometimes you don't even know anymore what you want in certain characters. And so always make bold choices, like always make strong choices. No choices is never going to get you the job. Like I think you always just have to make a super strong selection on what you think that person is. And I think it just depends too, because I know with like some TV, like certain roles, there's like not a lot of explanation about who they are or what they're doing. It's like,
or if it's like a network show or something like that, you're like,
but it's well, and I don't know. I don't want to give advice about network TV because I know that they're a little formulaic sometimes in terms of like what you need to give in your auditions.
Yeah,
but
it is
I think
different
in terms of like
anything else.
No, but like in terms of like certain shows and movies and stuff, like I think it's always great to make a big bold choice. You know, don't be insane, but
and not for no reason. It has to be like within the given circumstance and genre of what you're auditioning for. But I agree, and I've had casting directors on here and they say the exact same thing. You know, they're like, we watch I think
because we're not in the room anymore either, so it's like all you have is the choice you make.
Literally.
That's all you got.
No, she gave an example. She's like, let's say I watch 50 tapes, 45 of them are the same. And I've never been the same since.
Yeah.
I was like, that's insane.
Yeah, for sure.
That's insane.
Yeah.
What conversations are still missing in the industry that you want to see more of?
Oh, just women and non-binary people and people of color, minority telling stories, directors. Like it's just so important. If you look at who's, you know, directing everything in forever, it's been, you know, men, and that's systemic. And it needs to shift, it needs to change, and it's important that there are, you know, communities like Not Your Daddies and these people that are being very loud about it, because you can't get it done without being loud. So
and I think that it's hard for people to be loud because there's Not Your Daddies is going to create that for people where they're going to feel more confident and inspired to go out there, but
ask for what they want.
The problem is men, they have this fucking weird thing built in. I wonder why. To where they just ask for anything and everything that they want. Like watching my boyfriend, who is a 6'4" white male, talk on the phone, you guys, is insane. Actually, I have this funny story. So he is an executive producer, so for commercials, so he hires every single individual that is going to be on the project. And he was interviewing 2 art directors for a shoot, and one of them was a woman, one of them was a man, and he has them on speakerphone, and he's like, hey, okay, so here's what we need. It's a couple days, so let me know like what your rates are. Swear to God, the guy was like, my rate's $1,000 a day. I can do that. That's fine. It's going to be harder to source that, but I can make that happen. I will need a prep day and right? Very normal. And Brando's like, okay, great. The woman was so sweet. And she was like, her rate was $300 less. She was like, $750 a day. I'm super flexible. Cause you know, it's also normal to say that for commercials. That's what a lot of people in crew say. They're like, look, my standard rate is this, but like, I'm understanding if this is a smaller budget part. But also don't say that. You know, and she was like, my rate's $750 a day, but I totally understand if we're on a string-line budget, like no problem. And Brando, by the way, he'll pay the $1,000. He doesn't care. Like I forget who he hired, but my point is it's not about the money. It's about the
confidence. It's about the confidence in
and so
your
I feel
work.
like what you're doing is it can help build those because of the workshops and the seminars and the panels.
And it's really scary. I mean, I will say too, like 80% of the meetings I've had so far on all my scripts are with men. Like, you know, the people that will give me the money, the people that will give me the opportunities to do these things. It's like a lot of them are men, and it's like you have to.
And you want that money, and you want that. Yeah.
And 100%. Also, and you're going to be faced with a lot of men as a woman in the industry, and you're just gonna have to find that confidence and know your worth, and know that, you know, you can get the job done just as good, if not better.
100%. I wanted to ask, what are a few films that you love that are women directed, created, non-binary, directed, created?
Ooh, I love that question. I love Julia DeCarnau. She did most recently Titane and Raw, and she's like very cool, like she's French and just super weird genre, like crazy movies, and she's incredible. I just saw Testament of Anne Lee last night, which is Mona Fastfold, but she's Brady Corbet's wife, who made The Brutalist, and he produced the film, and Brutalist was unbelievable. But her, you know, aside from her husband, like this film is unreal. Like it rips. Like it's so fucking cool, and the dancing and the music, and like it's just so beautiful. And that one, and then I'm trying to think of, I'm like, is there a fun? I mean, the most classic one I'm always like, you got to start with is Jennifer's Body. That's like growing up, like that was.
Wait, I mean, who directed that?
Karen Kusama.
Okay.
And she ended up she was a showrunner for what's that show? I have not watched it yet. Yellow Jackets. Everyone loves that show.
Yes.
I think she was the showrunner, if not just did the pilot.
Okay.
But Karen Kusama was the first time I watched like a cool genre movie, and Jennifer's Body in 2008, and I was like, this is sick, and through such like a feminine lens, and like it's still scary and gross and weird, and it was I love.
I have to watch all. I mean, I watched Jennifer's
like,
Body. Yeah. Megan
Classic.
Fox.
Yeah, I'm off. Yes, and Amanda Seyfried, who also was the star of Testament of Anne Lee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's the most underrated actress.
Yes,
Amanda Seyfried is like her as Elizabeth Holmes. Unreal.
Oh, I know.
Unreal.
I know.
She's
also,
so
that
cool.
story is insane.
Yeah.
That is a good example of like how delusion can actually take you far if you use it for good.
I think everyone's got to be a little delusional.
100%.
We all have to be a little delusional, especially we're all artists. Like, you just got to be a little delulu.
You got to be delulu.
Yeah.
But a little bit, right? Because I feel like you're very similar to me, like grounded. Delusion, but like I'm gonna fucking take this delusion and I'm gonna put a business plan.
I need to be more delusional.
Like, me too.
I wish I was a little bit more.
Me too.
Because I'm a little
because
too.
people will take it to the like. Yeah. People become very successful off pure delusion. Is you have to like the delusion has to be synced with like self-worth and understanding that you can get it done, like genuinely. And then it like will really happen. Yeah.
I think the work
and
ethic.
Then there's the
And then
there's the
there's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, work ethic and delusion.
No, literally. Literally. Okay. Thank you so much for being here.
This is awesome.
In the show notes will be everything about Not Your Daddy's Films and obviously your Instagram and everything. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. I'm honored.
You're inspiring.
Thank you.